I'm only 5'6", and dating comes really, really easy for me. In fact, I'll go as far to say most women, sure, some of them, but most women don't have height preferences. And me saying this should come as like a huge sign of relief. But for whatever reason, whenever I say anything along those lines on this channel, people just lose their fucking mind. Like they're so desperate to defend, you know, that women don't like shorter men. And if you're short, it's over, and that you need to be 6 feet tall. But this just simply is not the case. In fact, I can log onto a dating app any night of the week with my height and my bio, and I'll get dozens and dozens of matches, right? Beautiful women that are my type. They want to go out with me. And when I meet them, my height is never brought up. In fact, I can't think of a single time I've ever been rejected for my height. And I can say with absolute conviction, it never will, right? And the reason you're struggling to comprehend that, the difference between me and you, is simply due to the kind of man I am, right? So let's talk about what it really means when a woman says, I don't date short guys, or you're not 6 feet tall, or you're kind of short, or whatever BS she told you. Because most of the time, that's not why she actually rejected you. Height is usually only the final nail in the coffin. Now, sure, some women do have height preferences. I'm not going to act like this just isn't a thing that some women care about. But if you find that women are constantly telling you things along the lines of you're too short or whatever, understand the real reason she rejected you is because you're severely lacking as a man. So what do I mean by that? Well, you might not be in shape. Maybe you're not very handsome. You don't dress nice. Maybe you're unhygienic. Maybe all of the above, right? Your height was just the final nail in the coffin, and it was a lot nicer for her to say, yeah, I just am not really into short guys, than say, yeah, you're fat, or yeah, sorry, you smell like shit. I don't want to go out with you. Like, what woman is going to say that? What woman is going to say that? It's a lot easier for her to say, I don't date short guys, than list your whole myriad of problems you have going on. Because let's be real, like, if you were handsome, if you were in shape, if you were making good money, why wouldn't she want to go out with you, right? Have you seen what the average man looks like? The average man is out of shape, has a dad bod, has fucking love handles, is afraid to talk to girls, which is another thing I want to talk about. Most of you guys aren't even confident around women. You aren't even confident around women because you're walking around with this genuine belief that women aren't even attracted to shorter men. So, like, what do you think that does to your perception of women? It makes you angry. You're carrying resentment, but you're also carrying insecurity. And those are two very unattractive qualities, insecurities and anger, right? Women want a man who's confident and masculine. And some of you guys might be like, well, how does she know I'm insecure? How does she know I'm angry? I can hide it. No, you can't. No, you can't, because women can smell that shit from a mile away. You're not fooling anyone. No matter how good you think you are at hiding it, you can't. Because there's little things you do subconsciously, like your mannerisms, your tonality, your body language, the way you say things, not necessarily what you say, but the way you say things, shows that you might be passive aggressive, that you're angry, that you're bitter, or that you're insecure, that you lack confidence, and that you think this girl is better than you. That you think, you feel the need to pedestalize her because she's pretty, and you think that she doesn't like shorter guys, so you feel the need to prove yourself. But imagine if you changed your mindset and switched the frame and the dynamics of, well, why should I even like her? Seriously. She takes shits too. She bleeds out of her fucking vagina. She's a human organism. Why do you think she's so much better than you? She's not a unicorn. She's just a female. In fact, Before I made this channel and started giving guys advice on dating and helping them out with their confidence around their height, the whole idea of height never crossed my mind. It never crossed my mind. Like I never thought about it when I was talking to girls, when I was going out with them. Never thought about it until I made this channel, because other guys started coming up to me, like my friends, who are like, dude, like you're 5'6". How are you pulling more girls than us? How are you getting so many matches on dating apps? Like, what's the secret? What are you doing? And I was like, okay, you know what? I think I have, an advantage that I need to teach about, right? I need to make content about this because a lot of guys struggle with this, right? Because a lot of you guys are like, oh, if I just magically woke up 6'4", it would fix all my problems. How? Remember what I said earlier? It's not about being good at one thing. It's about being the jack of all trades, right? We've all heard the analogy, oh, you just want to spend 10,000 hours on one thing and be the best at it and master it. But for dating, that's not the case. It's not the case. You want to be as well-rounded as possible. If you just magically woke up 6 feet tall, you'd still be fat. You'd still be afraid of girls. You'd still be low confidence. You'd still have all these problems going on. And sure, you might get noticed easier. Girls might even approach you, but like once you open your mouth, she's never going to want to interact with you again. You might even get a date. You might even get laid. But you'll never see her again because she's going to see what kind of man you actually are. It only gets your foot in the door. Same thing with looks, man. You could just be handsome, but that in itself is not good enough on its own. In fact, when I first hopped on self-improvement and started making some results for myself, because I actually used to have a pretty hard time with dating, and we'll talk about that later in this video. But, dating, like I say, it used to come really hard for me. But once I started to become good looking, got in shape, I was getting choosing signals left and right. I was getting tons of matches on dating apps. But whenever I would go out with these girls or talk to them or shoot my shot, it never went well. I would always get rejected. I'd get ghosted on, wouldn't get second dates. And it was simply due to the fact that they could tell that, my social skills were kind of off. I wasn't making good money. I was kind of needy. I was kind of desperate, right? I was lacking in all those other areas. Yeah, they were attractive to me, but when they got to know me, that's when they lost the attraction. Same thing's going to happen with your height. In fact, I got a buddy, 6'4". 6'4", hadn't gone on a date in 5 years, came to me for advice. And this is what led to me starting this business where I literally help guys, maximize their self-image and package it together on a dating app so they can get far more matches than they know what to do with. That's something you want help with, you can just click the top link in the description. But essentially this guy was 6'5" or 6'4", hadn't gone on a date in 5 years, came to me for advice because he saw the kind of success I was having. And I put him on the program, had him optimize his physique. So we had him lose about 10, 15 pounds so he could drop some body fat, be leaner. Had him focus on the aesthetic muscles so he could actually have that nice shoulder to waist ratio. Worked on his style, got his haircut. And he started going out. He didn't even use dating apps. He just started going out more. And women just started approaching him. Something he'd never experienced in his life. This dude's 6'4". Never been approached. Now he's getting approached left and right, getting girls' numbers. And he doesn't even have to take them on dates. They just invite him over. They literally just say, hey, you should come over. Let's watch a movie. I want to cook for you. Never experienced that before. But then once we maximize everything else was on autopilot, right? It just goes to show, just being tall isn't good enough. You need to be as well-rounded as possible, right? So this is essentially what I teach. This is called short guy game, where you maximize every single stat to make up for your one flaw. Because I'm not going to lie, being short, it's a disadvantage. You're fighting an uphill battle. Dating is absolutely going to be harder for you if you don't have the height going for you. But it doesn't have to be hard. It's only hard if you make excuses for yourself. It's only hard if you reference these little studies, these peer-reviewed articles. I don't know why so many guys comment studies and peer-reviewed papers on my page defending their insecurities. See, look, this study shows that you have to be 6 feet tall, otherwise women aren't going to have true, genuine, burning desire for you, the biological attraction. Shut up, dude. You've never talked to a girl in your life. Hand me that study, I'll print it out, and I'll wipe my fucking ass with it. Because I refuse to buy into beliefs that negatively impact my perception of the world. It adds no benefit to my life to buy into this reality that women don't like shorter men. Whether that's true or not, what good does it do me to believe that? Nothing. Nothing. I don't care if that sounds delusional. Remember what I said earlier? If you're walking around with this belief that women don't like shorter men, you're going to carry resentment. You're going to be angry. You're going to be insecure. And that's going to push her away. And when she rejects you, you're going to resort to blaming your height when that wasn't even the issue. She might have genuinely thought you were a handsome, attractive dude. But because of your mannerisms and your body language and the things you said, you gave her the ick. You gave her the ick, right? So stop defending your insecurities. The longer you defend them, the longer they're going to take control of your life and you're going to stay stuck where you're at, right? You clicked on this video because you want to improve your dating life. You want to be able to go out with the kind of girls that you're actually attracted to. And that's what you're going to be able to achieve with my short guy game method. So essentially, this is where we maximize every single pillar of your life. Every single pillar of your life. Your physique, your looks, your confidence, your hygiene, your style, your grooming, your personality, everything, finances, everything we can control. We're no longer going to focus on the one thing that's outside of our control because that's insanity. Why would you just focus and fixate on one thing that you can't fix, that you can't control? What good does that do you? That's not moving the needle forward, right? Wallowing away in self-pity isn't going to get you anywhere. You wouldn't have to watch these kinds of videos if you knew, oh, wait, I can't control my height. Okay, well, let's at least do everything in my power instead of avoiding talking to girls and complaining that women don't like shorter men. Look where that's gotten you. You're watching these videos. It's fucking pathetic. You should feel ashamed you have to watch videos like this. What's wrong with you, right? And before I go into the whole methodology, I just want to make a disclaimer. So many guys, they get angry and they say, oh, going to the gym and working on your looks to attract women because you're short is cope. Okay, and what are you supposed to do? Are you just supposed to remain where you are and be mediocre and have a non-existent dating life? I don't get some of you guys. It's fucking annoying. It's annoying. It's not cope. And even if it is, I'm glad to be coping. I'm glad that I can go on a date any night of the week because I took the time to work on myself. I can log on to a dating app and get dozens and dozens of matches with attractive women that want to go out with me. I get approached. I've literally been catcalled before. Call it cope. I don't care. I don't care. At least I have the results. At least women find me attractive. What's wrong with you? So, first things first, we got to get your mindset right. That's the first thing we got to adopt, which really the beginning of this video has just been about mindset. But we have to completely drop this idea that women don't like shorter men. No matter how true it is, I want you to be delusional. I want you to be delusional because look, it serves you absolutely no good to buy into this narrative that women don't like shorter men. Look where it's gotten you, right? So what are you supposed to do? How are you supposed to handle this? Well, you have to constantly remind yourself that you're the man, right? You have to remind yourself the man, but you're only going to believe that you're genuinely that fucking guy if you take action and prove it to yourself, right? So next time you see a cute girl, before you get in your head and reject yourself before even trying, thinking, oh, wait, she's not going to like me because I'm short. Oh, she's not going to like me because I'm not white. Oh, she's not going to like me because I'm wearing a red shirt, not a blue shirt, and I'm wearing Nike shoes, and I don't make six figures. It's her job to reject you, not yours. Like, genuinely, bro. Do you have two pairs of balls? If you don't have two pairs of balls, I can see why you're rejecting yourself before even trying. But from here on out, I want you to adopt the mindset that it's her job to reject you, not yours, right? And even if you get rejected, who cares? Who cares? You had the balls to make the approach where most guys, even the guys who are 6 foot, don't even have the confidence to approach a girl even with alcohol in their system. I go out with guys all the time, and they'll stand in the corner holding their drink like, oh yeah, she's bad, bro. She's bad. She's bad. Dude, if you know how to approach women, if you could talk to a girl, forget even asking her out and shooting your shot, just striking a conversation, you're a select rare individual. Most guys can't do that, right? So you got to constantly prove to yourself that you're the man. And it's not just by talking to women, but it's also by taking action, right? Remember, it serves you no good to buy into this narrative that women don't like shorter guys. Because at the end of the day, your belief system is going to dictate your actions. And your actions are going to dictate your reality, right? This isn't some law of attraction, woo-woo, hippie shit. Think about it logically. If you believe something, you're going to act on it. And your actions are going to dictate how your life goes. It's as simple as that, right? If you don't believe something's possible, if you don't think it's possible to make $1 million this year, you're not going to hustle. You're not going to start a business. You're not going to work longer hours or do whatever you have to do to get there because you don't think it's possible. You don't think you can achieve it, right? But if you think you can achieve it, you're going to do everything in your power to make it possible, right? You see where I'm getting here, right? And at the end of the day, who are you going to bet on? Who are you going to bet on? The guy who's 5'6" and like, oh man, women aren't going to like me. I'm short. I'm unattractive. Women don't like short guys. Or are you going to bet on the short guy who's like, dude, I'm the fucking man. I'm the G. There's no reason women wouldn't want me. Like they should be approaching me. Like who are you betting on? Who's going to get the results? Who are you putting all your money on? The second guy all day long, right? So constantly remind yourself, you are the man. I want you to genuinely develop a sense of arrogance. A sense of arrogance, right? You should feel entitled to these women, right? Because the reason you feel like these girls are better than you is because you're walking around with this belief that they don't like shorter men and that they have all these preferences. Be arrogant. Be arrogant. Be like, I'm so fucking handsome. I'm so in shape. I'm so attractive. There's no reason she wouldn't like me. I should go and talk to her. Why wouldn't she like me? See what I mean, man? But that's the mindset you need to adopt. Now let's talk into actual steps you can take to become more physically attractive, right? So physique is the foundation to all of this. Physique is the foundation to all of this, right? There's actually studies that show when you build the aesthetic body, with the perfect golden ratios, your shoulders are broader than your waistline, that it doesn't matter what flaw you have. There's actually studies to back this up, right? You guys love studies. You love peer-reviewed papers. Well, here's my fucking study. The show, you could literally have a deformity. You could be bald. The study actually said you could be short. But if you have the perfect golden ratios, you spark that true biological primal attraction, right? And this is 100% true because think about it. When you see a woman with the hourglass figure, even if she kind of has a bit of an ugly face, you fucking look. You look, right? I look. I can't help it. It's in my biology. When I see a woman with the perfect curves, I can't help but look. Well, the same thing happens when a woman sees a man with the V-taper aesthetic, right? This is what just creates true primal burning desire. So if you're not hitting the gym, first of all, you need to get in the fucking gym like ASAP. Like, what are you doing? How are you a grown man not exercising? I find it wild that there's like most people, forget like going to the gym, most people don't even exercise. They don't do cardio. They don't, walk. They don't eat healthy. They don't stretch. They don't do yoga. They just sit in a chair and work. Get home, watch TV. It's pathetic. It's pathetic. But as far as working out goes, you don't need to live this crazy like bodybuilding lifestyle where you eat, sleep, and live in the gym. You don't need to go to the gym 6 days a week. In fact, that's actually counterintuitive. I've made the best results in my life training 3 days a week. That's all I do, 3 days a week. You could go 4 days. I've made good gains training 4 days, but I always make the best when I train 3 days a week. So follow some type of routine that's 3 days a week, focused around compound exercises like deadlifts, barbell rows, incline bench press, overhead press, pull-ups, chin-ups, stuff like that. You want to get brutally strong on like key exercises. In fact, the way my routine's laid out right now, I'll just explain it to you. It's a 3-day split, upper lower, 2 upper body days, 1 lower body day. Ooh, 1 leg day. I don't want tree trunk legs, bro. Right? Legs aren't the most important body part for aesthetics. They just need to be proportionate with the rest of your body. But as far as the upper body days go out, the first upper body day is more chest focused, and then the other one's more shoulder focused. And then I hit back on both days, right? But as far as like structuring these workouts go, like we want to make sure we're prioritizing the right muscles because we're going for the V-taper aesthetic. So you want to prioritize your shoulders, and I'm going to list these muscles from most important to least important. They're all important, but from most important to least important. So your shoulders, and specifically the side and the rear delts, this is what's going to really give your shoulder that capped 3D look. Like a lot of guys, like they'll see someone with capped shoulders on social media and they'll immediately assume like fake natty, because your shoulders are like an androgen receptor and they respond whenever you take gear or whatever. I don't know shit about that kind of stuff. But I think the reason a lot of guys believe this is just simply due to the fact they don't know how to train your shoulders. A lot of guys don't do overhead press because they've been told, oh, you don't need to do it because it gets indirectly hit from all of your other pressing exercises. But just, do some overhead press, do some lateral raises, some face pulls. That'll give you some capped 3D delts. Next, upper chest. Upper chest really gives you that Greek god look. It makes you look more masculine, more aesthetic. So just do 2 incline presses a week and that'll do you plenty. And then the lats, some type of weighted chin up, weighted pull up. This is what's really going to give you that width and give you that V-taper aesthetic. And then the biceps. So the biceps are the first muscle a woman notices on a guy. Women go crazy for biceps. In fact, if you've ever scrolled on Hinge, there's so many prompts that say like, oh, I want a man with big biceps, right? So train your biceps. Abs, self-explanatory. Women love abs. And then your forearms. Women love forearms. It makes you look more masculine. Women literally compare forearms to like fucking penises, bro. Like they'll see like the veins and they'll be like, oh, it's like a dick vein. It's crazy. It just gets them aroused. And then lastly, the neck and the traps. This will make you look more masculine. But yeah, 3 days a week, prioritize those muscle groups twice a week, train everything else once a week, focus on getting stronger, and that'll help you out. Next, you need to make sure you're at 10 to 12% body fat because this is what's going to make you more attractive, right? It's going to make you leaner. It's going to give you a shredded six-pack, more vascularity, more sex appeal, right? So make sure you get to 10 to 12% body fat. If you're, 15% body fat or above, you need to cut. You need to cut. It's non-negotiable. Stick to eating single ingredient whole foods. So like beef, steak, potatoes, fruits, eggs, stuff like that. You're just eating a 500 calorie deficit for the next 12 to 16 weeks. And you should have a six-pack and no problem. So let's talk about the looks aspect because looks are pretty important too. Physique actually takes care of most of your looks, which is why I said physique is the foundation. But you'll notice when you have the physique, like women are checking you out left and right, like never before, even when you have clothes on, because at the end of the day, your physique is your wardrobe. Women are going to be checking you out left and right. You're going to get choosing signals. Girls will be, standing in your vicinity at the gym, following you around, maybe even striking conversations with you. Like literally, once you got the mindset and physique down, that takes care of the majority of the work. Like if there's 2 things you take away from this video, it's adopting the right mindset and having the physique. And you're already more than halfway there. But the rest of the stuff is just the cherry on top. So looks maxing, whatever you want to call it. You don't need to do any of this like bullshit, thumb pulling, bone smashing, whatever these kids are telling you to do. It doesn't work. It's a scam. Don't fall for that propaganda. Literally get your physique right and get lean and you will look unrecognizable. Because just like your physique, your facial aesthetics are highly dictated by your body fat percentage. So as you get leaner, your face will become more chiseled, more defined. Your jawline will be more pronounced. Cheekbones will hollow out. And bam, you'll look totally different. You don't need like cosmetic surgery or anything like that. That's going to be a waste of money. In fact, if you get cosmetic surgery, sure, it might look good while you're fat, but then when you lose that last layer of fat on your face, it's going to look ridiculous. Your face is going to look like one of those they're called like caricatures. If you go to like New York and Manhattan, they got like the easel board artists and they like draw your face looking all like exaggerated. That's what you're going to look like, right? So obviously that's not going to look good. In fact, you look like The Weeknd in that one photo when he had like the, if you know what I'm talking about, whatever. Anyways, some other things you can do for looks. Grooming. Grooming's a big one, boys. It's a big one. Find a haircut that suits your face shape. For me, I find that a messy, kind of like curly middle part suits my face shape. But maybe you want to get like a low taper. Maybe you get a high fade. Maybe you rock something like this. Maybe you get like a classic like slick back. Figure out what haircut suits your face shape. There's tons of videos on TikTok made by these looks maxing TikTokers who are like 16 years old telling you what haircut to get for your face shape. So just reference one of those videos, you'll figure it out. You got half a brain, right? Eyebrows. Eyebrows are a big one too. Women love, just bushy eyebrows. It makes you look more masculine and it makes your face just look more symmetrical. And then getting the right facial hair. So I used to rock the mustache goatee combo, but now I rock the mustache, and dude, I'm loving this look. I'm loving this look, and the ladies like it too. But just figure out what facial hair suits your face shape, and this will instantly make you more attractive. If you're struggling to grow a beard, consider using minoxidil. That will stimulate hair growth. I did the whole minoxidil derma rolling thing for about a year, and I was a non-responder. Didn't get any results from it, but that probably won't be the case for you, because I think there was studies that showed like less than 5% of people that use minoxidil are non-responders. So unfortunate for me, but you'll be able to grow a full beard more than likely if you apply it. So consider that. But you want to get a haircut and beard that suits your face shape. And then also if you have thinner eyebrows, like I was talking about, that'll make your eyebrows look more masculine. And about eyebrows, like make sure you're plucking everything in between here. Do not have a unibrow. You want your eyebrows to be kind of like straight like mine. This will give your face more symmetry and it'll just make you look more attractive. But that's really it for looks. As long as you got your physique right, you're eating healthy, like single ingredient whole foods, you're going to be handsome. You're going to look unrecognizable. That's literally all you need to do for looks maxing. And then of course, like the haircut and beard and all that kind of stuff. But yeah, let's talk about style. Style is underrated. Style is very underrated. So style can literally jump you up like a point, sometimes even 2 points in attractiveness, depending on your starting point. And a lot of guys get style wrong. They wear like all these like oversized, baggy, boxy looking clothes because it's trendy on social media. You really just need to wear nice fitted clothes. I like to call it like the old money style. Kind of think like Ralph Lauren, Banana Republic, that kind of style. That's the most universally attractive style a man can wear. It looks good on everyone. It doesn't matter what your race is, what your height is, age. It doesn't matter. It looks good on literally everyone, and women go crazy for it. So think about wearing like nice fitted polos, button downs, linen button downs, chinos, dress pants, loafers, suede loafers, penny loafers, casual sneakers like white leather sneakers, black leather sneakers, straight fit jeans that are kind of like a medium to light wash, quarter zips. If it's winter, wear like a nice wool coat or a bomber jacket or a leather jacket. Stuff like that. Style makes all the difference. Women go head over heels for a man who knows how to dress. Like every time I've gotten approached by a woman, I was wearing a nice outfit, right? I know I'm not dressed too nice right now. I'm just wearing like a flannel and fucking jewelry, but I'm filming this from home, right? I'm comfortable, I'm cozy. I got the results, right? I'm not trying to impress women right now. I'm trying to help you guys so you can fix your dating life. But every time I've been approached by a woman, it was because I've dressed nice. So in fact, I'll give you a quick story time. I was at a Mexican restaurant with my friends. And those of you guys who know I love Latinas, right? And the waitress there was feeling me. She was feeling me. And keep in mind, all my friends, they are 6 foot and up. These guys are ginormous dudes. I'm 5'6". And we're all eating. And she comes to the table, writes her phone number and napkin. And keep in mind, this girl's literally my type. Big booty, gym girl, Latina, dark hair, like literally my type. Comes to the table, writes her phone number and IG on a napkin and hands it to me specifically. She chose me all over all the guys who are 6 feet tall, right? Just goes to show, like, if you're short, it doesn't matter. As long as you're working on everything else, she'll choose you. And the reason she chose me was I just let the barber out a nice fade. I actually had a different haircut at the time. I was rocking like a low taper, which it looked good. I just think this hairstyle looks better. But I had like a nice low taper, mustache goatee combo. And I was wearing like this leather jacket with like a white t-shirt, black jeans, and like boots. I looked fucking good. I looked really, really good. And yeah, that's why she chose me all over my friends who, didn't look too put together, weren't dressed nice. Sure, they're tall, but like, you know what I mean? I looked more attractive than all of them. That's why she chose me. So style is very powerful. Every time I've been approached by women, I'm dressed nice. Stick to that old money look I was talking about. A lot of you guys have been requesting for me to make a style guide. That is in the works. It will be up eventually. So stay tuned for that. But yeah, if you maximize your mindset, physique, looks, and style, you're going to get so many choosing signals you won't even believe it. Women will approach you here and there. If you approach women, you'll have a very high success rate. You'll be far more attractive, right? You're far more attractive than the average dude. The average dude can't dress well. The average man thinks lowly of himself. He looks down at his phone whenever he walks around in public, shoulders rolled forward, is afraid to talk to girls, doesn't dress nice, isn't in shape. Like, bro, you instantly stand out like a sore thumb. Every woman's going to look past your height. She's literally going to look past your height. She won't care because you're better than all these guys. You're confident, you're masculine, you're attractive. You're what every woman craves. Women crave a masculine, confident man. It's few and far in between nowadays, right? It doesn't matter how tall all the other guys are in her inbox. She's instantly going to choose you because you know how to carry yourself. You know how to take the lead. Plus, you got the looks going for you. She doesn't care that you're short anymore, right? Women only make these rules for guys that they don't find that attractive, right? Anyone who actually has a successful dating life and pulls women knows what I'm talking about. All these rules, he has to have 10 inches and be 6'5" and making $1 billion. They only make those kinds of rules for guys they're not attractive to, right? They only make those rules for guys they're not attracted to. But the guys that are actually their type, the guys that they're actually have genuine desire for, they make the exception for. They break all the rules for that guy. They chase after that guy. In fact, this is why I don't chase women. I don't chase women. If a woman leaves me on red, I never reach out to her again. I never double text. There's no point because there's another guy in her inbox who doesn't have to do all that. So why am I going to go the extra mile when another guy can just say, hey, let's go do this, and she doesn't play any games? She's more than happy to go out with them, right? This is called abundance mentality, right? You're not caught up. You're not scarce about a particular outcome. You actually have self-respect for yourself, and you don't lose your dignity and honor chasing after girls that want nothing to do with you. It's so pathetic that most guys do this. It's pathetic, right? If a woman's not into you, leave her alone. Leave her alone. This is why you have low confidence. This is why you think women are better than you, because you're going after all these kinds of girls that don't even like you in the first place. Like, what are you doing, bro? It's pathetic. You're a simp. Move on. Talk to another girl. She's just a human organism, like I said. Remember? She takes shits too. Anyways, let's talk about how you're going to actually get the abundant dating life so you can get multiple dates a week if you want, be able to pick and choose who you actually want to go out with so you don't have to just settle for whoever you want, right? So you're already going to be getting crazy choosing signals, and if you decide to cold approach, you're going to have a pretty high success rate. But let's say you just want everything to be on autopilot. You don't want to have to stress about this so you can move on into bigger, more important things in your life. So this is what I call the inbound attraction system, the online inbound attraction system. My bad. And this is essentially where women choose you first, and you get to select who you actually want to go out with. And the way we do this is we set up an online dating app profile, whether it's Hinge, Tinder, Bumble, Facebook dating, or even Instagram, whatever you choose. I recommend you use all the different apps. That way you have a variety of, you have more options to choose from as far as women go. But once you've maximized your looks and physique and mindset and everything, what we do is we package it together on a dating app profile, and then you just start getting so many matches. You take good professional photos and you put it on a dating app profile, and you're gonna get more matches than you even know what to do with. Like, keep in mind, I'm 5'6". I have my height in my bio, and it doesn't stop me from literally getting 20 to 30 matches a week on Hinge. That's just Hinge. On like Facebook dating, Bumble, if we're counting all that, we're talking about like 200 matches a week. It's fucking easy mode, right? I don't have to worry about dating. I don't have to worry about attracting women because they just come to me. I'm never stressed out about a girl. Oh, does she like me? Man, I really hope she likes me. How can I impress her? No, because I know if things don't work out, I can talk to another girl, which actually inherently makes me more attractive, right? Because I'm not coming from a place of neediness and I'm not desperate. I'm cool, I'm calm, I'm collected, right? Which makes her more attracted to me because remember, women crave a man who's confident and masculine. And that's exactly what you're gonna achieve once you've made the physical transformation and the mental transformation, but then when you also start getting the results, you're gonna be more confident, right? And dating is just gonna be a walk in the park. You're gonna be every woman's dream, right? But if you wanna be able to achieve the kind of results I'm talking about, right? Effortlessly be able to go on a date any day you want with the kind of women that you're actually attracted to, not having to settle for like the 3s and the 4s and the fat chicks. You actually wanna go out with women that are your type. You can click the top link in the description of this video and book a one-on-one coaching call with me. It's totally free. We'll, assess your current strategy on dating and self-improvement to see what all you've tried and how we can optimize it so you can actually move the needle forward and improve your dating life and go out with the kind of women you actually want to go out with. And again, the way we do this is by maximizing your mindset and your self-image through your physique, style, grooming, all that, and then taking good photos and packaging it all together on a dating app profile so you can just log onto a dating app and get more matches than you even know what to do with. Like I said, I can log onto a dating app with my height, my bio, and it doesn't stop me from getting matches with plenty of attractive women that want to go out with me, right? I've helped other guys. I literally helped a guy, Indian dude, 5'4", non-existent dating life, was literally considering moving across the world to fix his dating life. And he came to me, we made some tweaks, we optimized his mindset, and now he's approaching women, going on dates multiple nights a week. He can log on to Hinge, he's getting like 5 to 8 likes a day. Like he literally made a life-changing transformation, changed his life, right? He thought he had to go overseas and now dating comes easy for him, right? I also told you about my guy who's 6'4", helped him. But yeah, that's something you're interested in. You want to take this to the next level. You're tired of, not having the results you want, tired of having to settle for girls you don't really like. And you just want someone, who's been in your shoes, who's made the transformation, help you along the way so you can save time and move on to more important things in your life. Top link in the description, you can book a call with me. We'll adjust your current strategy and see what we need to do going forward. And if you're a good fit, boom, I'll onboard you to my one-on-one mentorship and we'll get you right. But if that's not something you're ready for, bro, totally cool, totally cool. You can keep trying what you have been, see if it works, maybe things will get better. Or you can just keep watching these videos and try and do it on your own, which, like I said, a lot of guys, just simply from watching my videos, like I posted the Hinge video the other day, how short men can get 2 to 3 matches a day on Hinge. A lot of guys have watched that and they're getting dates the same week. So consider watching that. But yeah, that's it for this video, boys. Like, subscribe. If you have any questions, just shoot me a DM on Instagram. But that's it for this video, boys. Peace.